Welcome to Blender add-on development for beginners. In this final short video in the module on adding mesh objects, we add a little bit of extra functionality to our star-shaped mesh. We will see how to add a solidify modifier to our new mesh object and change its thickness to something reasonable. And for good measure, we add a bevel modifier too and give it a decent width and configure the number of segments. The nice thing about modifiers is of course that the user can change things without having to change the mesh itself. So by adding them, we enhance the usability a lot. The code we are going to add would work equally well with both versions of the operator we created, but in this demo we add it to the one that uses the built-in Blender operators. Near the end of the execute function, so at the point where we added the mesh object to the scene and returned to object mode, we know that our new object is the active object, so we retrieve a reference to it from the context. Many Blender objects have a modifiers attribute, and a mesh object is no exception. This attribute is a collection of modifiers, and we use its new method to add a new modifier to this collection. And here we choose to add a solidify modifier. The name attribute is also mandatory, although it doesn't really matter what we call it. We simply go for solidify. The new method returns the modifier itself, so we can use that to change the value of the thickness attribute. And that's all really. We can even add another modifier, a bevel modifier in this case, and this follows the same pattern. We use the modifier instance that is returned to set the offset type and the width and the number of segments. Like many bits of powerful functionality, it is already available in the Blender Python API. The only challenge is where to find it. The manual is your friend here, and I put a link to it in the description. Let's make sure we have no old version of our star add-on installed. It looks we haven't, so we install our new one. We choose Add Star again from the Add menu, and we adjust the view a bit. It looks like our star has some thickness and a bevel. And if we look in the modifier panel, we can see that the solidify modifier is present and we can tweak some of its attributes. Same for the bevel modifier. Remember what I said about the challenge of finding things? Well, because I have Python tooltips enabled in my preferences, I can hover over an attribute and see what its name is. We see, for example, that the width type attribute is actually called offset type, and that the attribute labeled with amount is called width. So having those tooltips enabled can be a great help. And that's all for this module. I hope you agree that performing tasks that may look quite complicated are in fact fairly easy, if you know your way around the manual, of course. In the two modules so far, we saw just the tip of the iceberg of what is possible, so there is a lot more to learn. If you have suggestions for future modules, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.